hope you can see me because I can't see anybody. Namani. I begin by paying my deepest respects and gratitude to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander elders, past and present. I pay my respects and acknowledge all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples that may be with us this evening to their unique cultural beliefs, customs and traditions. I also acknowledge all international Indigenous peoples who may be with us this evening. Nainari Elaine Munato Magayas, Naigana, Naranga Nyanki, Nature Tukutina Bukiana Anangu, Wamatandanya Anangu, Natu Wangadi Manina Budni Gana Yatana. My name is Elaine Munato Magayas. Munato is my birth order name, the name given to the fourth born child who is female. I am a Kaurna Naranga woman, and my family come from Tandanyanga and Bukiana. And on behalf of Kaurna, I say, welcome to country. Kaurna language has always been carried through the wind, through the branches of the gum trees, leaving the words of Kaurna embedded in her leaves. She has a root system that spreads further than the canopy, anchoring her to country. And such is our connection to country as Kaurna, as Aboriginal peoples. Our connection is greater than and deeper than understood. Welcomes to country are an ancient practice of great cultural significance for all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. It is a time of respect and of obligation to care for travellers. It has been practiced long before the first strangers reached our shores in wooden ships. It is when we ask our ancestors to watch over visitors as they travel across country, to keep them safe and to guide them so that traditionally they may return to their own country and family. My ancestors have welcomed people onto country for not simply 65,000 years, but for more than 2,600 generations. And I choose to speak of generations because it is not about time, it is about humanity, about family, people, community, connection, and belonging. As Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, we have a responsibility to ensure our culture remains unbroken, continuing as it has come from the past, the world's oldest, continuously practiced culture. And this reflects the strength and wisdom of all our elders. By providing a welcome today, I am practicing and maintaining, paying respects to family, country, and belonging, and contributing to a cultural inheritance for the next generations. Traditional Kaurna country begins at Crystal Brook in the north, travels down along the coast and out to the waters of Gulf St Vincent, down to Cape Jervis in the south, returning inland northeast and up along the Mount Lofty ranges back to Crystal Brook. And at the very heart of Kaurna country lays Tandanyanga, place of the red kangaroo dreaming. This has always been a significant traditional meeting place for conferences, ceremonies, trade and law, for Kaurna and invited neighbours. Today, it remains an important cultural meeting place for new generations born of an ancient people. Please accept my welcome in the spirit in which it is given, that all people are welcome, that this is now a shared country, that we all have responsibilities to care for each other and for country, and that we value and respect one another for both our differences and our similarities. Welcome to the traditional lands of the Kaurna. Munacha Anangul Tantari. I ask that you don't applaud this welcome. I ask that you reflect on parts of my welcome and carry those with you as you leave tonight. Nachalia, thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. Good evening. I'm pleased to acknowledge the Honourable Jack Batty, MP, and the Right Honourable the Lord Mayor Jane Lomax-Smith. I'm Tracy Whiting, and on behalf of the Adelaide Festival Board and the Adelaide Festival team, we proudly welcome you and warmly welcome you to the launch of the Adelaide Festival program. And I'm welcoming several hundred, I believe there's over 300 people who are watching virtually on our live stream. Very welcome to you as well. Tonight is one of the great nights on the national cultural calendar. It's the night that the highly anticipated Adelaide Festival program is launched, tickets go on sale and the momentum starts to build. Matthew Lutton, OAM, will be presenting the 2026 lineup, which continues the Adelaide Festival legacy of international scale and ambition. For over 60 years, Adelaide Festival has earned the title as Australia's leading international festival of arts, the festival that leads the country. This continued aspiration and quality of our festivals is underpinned by the support of the South Australian Government. I thank them on behalf of all of us for their unwavering commitment to the arts, their vision for the Adelaide Festival, and their generosity in making the Adelaide Festival possible, accessible and extraordinary. The Adelaide Festival is a draw card attracting people to South Australia. During the festival, Adelaide has a vibrancy and a buzz, which is one of our trademarks. Thanks to the City of Adelaide, who very generously support us annually, we are committed to fuelling the vibrancy in our beautiful city, and we appreciate the partnership. I'd like to give special thanks to our philanthropy partners from around Australia, whose support for special projects within the program elevates the quality and the breadth of the festival. They are an important and valued part of our ecosystem. The arts have such an important role to play in these times, and I thank these foundations for their belief in the power of the arts to be transformative, to truly enrich people's lives and to elevate community cohesion, tolerance and inclusion. These foundations include Electrical Merchandising, the Berg Family Foundation, James and Diana Ramsey Foundation, the Lang Family Foundation, Foskett Foundation, the Nun Dimos Foundation, Gergensen Foundation, Hill Warner Foundation and Mud Literary Club. Thank you. Special thanks goes to an amazing group of individuals who form our various donor groups. These groups comprise of membership. Thanks also to the chairs and the committees of these donor groups who work so hard to help support the Adelaide Festival. The donor groups include the Foundation Adelaide Festival, the Chairman's Circle, the Opera Donor Circle, Adelaide Festival Contemporary, the Commissioning Program, Beyond SA Borders Venture Fund, Adelaide Festival Arts Club, the Literati, Legacy Giving, and to all benefactors, thank you. The support and passion our benefactors demonstrate is a driving force for the Adelaide Festival team. Your confidence in and your aspiration for the Adelaide Festival to be truly outstanding supercharges us. So heartfelt thanks. And to you, our audience, whose enthusiasm keeps the Adelaide Festival alive, thank you on behalf of the Adelaide Festival team. Shortly you'll be hearing from our Executive Director, Julian Hobber, followed by Man of the Moment, Matthew Lutton, OAM, who will be presenting the Outstanding 2026 program, which is Matt's first. I'm pleased to thank again and welcome to the stage the Honourable Andrea Michaels MP, Minister for the Arts. Please join me in welcoming her.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Auntie Elaine, for welcoming us to beautiful Kaurna country. Can I thank Tracy and Julian and Matthew, who you'll hear from later, and all the incredible Adelaide Festival team for putting together an extraordinary program that we're going to hear about shortly. Can I also acknowledge my parliamentary colleagues, Jack Batty and Tammy Franks, and our Lord Mayor. Thank you for sharing this beautiful venue with us for this wonderful event. It is a true pleasure to be able to be here to launch the 2026 Adelaide Festival program. It'll be a 17-day global celebration of international theatre, dance, music, visual arts and literature. This extraordinary event is proudly supported by the Malinauskas government, and it showcases South Australia's premier festival. It brings to Adelaide international theatre, dance, music and opera that is cutting edge and of the highest artistic calibre, and work that you will not see anywhere else in Australia. The Adelaide Festival is equally proud to support and commission Australian and in particular South Australian artists and arts organisations to create new large-scale productions, ensuring our local talent continues to thrive on the world stage. This year also marks the return of the free opening night spectacular, a moment for the entire community to come together and celebrate all that is the Adelaide Festival. My congratulations go to Matthew Lutton on curating his first very ambitious and thought-provoking Adelaide Festival program. His vision reaffirms Adelaide Festival's status as one of the great international arts festivals. Importantly, the Adelaide Festival program reflects our aims as a state through our cultural policy, A Place to Create, which is about connecting us through arts, culture and creativity, and ensuring that South Australia is home to world-class artists, cultural organisations and creative industries. The Adelaide Festival is absolutely a living example of this vision and a place where excellent and diverse art is made and shared with the world. So thank you for having me. Enjoy the festival and please get on after this and start buying your tickets. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name's Julian Hobber. I'm Executive Director. I have the great honour of being Executive Director of Adelaide Festival, to be here tonight to introduce myself to you and to share in the launch of Matthew Lutton's inaugural program as Adelaide Festival Artistic Director. It takes a broad community of people to deliver a festival of the scale and intensity of Adelaide Festival, and there's a number of people and organisations I'd like to thank for being a part of that collective effort. Can I thank Auntie Elaine for her welcome to us tonight, and in doing so affirm Adelaide Festival's commitment to reconciliation with First Nations people and to our role in the celebration and sharing of First Nations arts and culture. Thank you to Minister Michaels for your close engagement with the festival, for the foundational support of the South Australian Government, and for your hard work ensuring that the festival is part of a vibrant South Australian arts and culture sector. Being part of that local sector and representing it through the festival's international platform is certainly something we have well in mind. Thank you to our Chair, Tracy Whiting, for your incredible hard work and commitment, for the leadership you have shown and do show for Adelaide Festival, for your clear determination that the festival be the very best that it can be. And thank you to all other board members who are here tonight for your commitment also to that important mission. I'd like to thank our corporate partners, and I'll take a few moments to name them briefly because the festival simply couldn't take place without them. To our major partners, Adelaide University, The Advertiser and Sunday Mail, and Channel 7. Now I can see everyone. To our presenting partners, ECH and The Australian. To our partners, Adelaide Airport, Intercontinental Adelaide, Hyundai Wayville, Prohibition Liquor Company, Coopers and Print Solutions. And to our supporting partners, the Office for Ageing Well and Seniors Card, Bone Dry, Academy Travel, Visual Com, Wireless Communications, The Guardian, Mischief Brew, In Daily and Aegis. I want to thank you, the loyal friends and audience of the festival. You are the indispensable heart of the artist-audience relationship that makes the festival work, and we are deeply grateful for the support you provide, through coming to as many shows as you can, through donating with your ticket purchase if you're able, and through spreading the word about the festival to your networks and communities. And finally, I'd like to give a very genuine thank you to the staff of Adelaide Festival. What I've found on taking on the role is a team that is absolutely full of expertise and care for the festival, who embody the belief in it that everyone here holds so dearly. We've been talking a lot among the board and staff about what's important about Adelaide Festival, asking ourselves how to do it well in the contemporary environment and reminding ourselves what makes the festival so necessary and unmissable still in its 65th year. That an international festival of art and literature feels so natural in our beautiful city, but also transforms it into something even more special. That invites people to see Adelaide with fresh eyes and create memories unmistakably linked to place. That it connects our state to the world through a celebration of the creative expression that is at the heart of our shared humanity, which feels more important than ever in the times we find ourselves. And quintessentially, that it connects us individually and collectively with the imaginations of the most extraordinary artists working in the world today, giving us revelatory moments experiencing meaning, beauty, provocation, and truth. Those experiences should be at the heart of any great Adelaide Festival program, and we believe they most definitely are in 2026. So to tell you more about that, can I please introduce, to share his inaugural Adelaide Festival program, our Artistic Director, Matthew Lutton.
Thank you, Julian, and hello, wonderful to see you all, and welcome to the launch of Adelaide Festival 2026. It's been an absolute joy to join the festival as Artistic Director. Adelaide Festival has always been the festival I've wanted to attend every year. My mum first brought me from Perth to Adelaide Festival when I was 16, and I've been hooked ever since. I'm pinching myself being up here. It has been a great privilege to be in dialogue with extraordinary artists from around the world who are so eager to bring their work to Adelaide, and to be in conversation with artists in South Australia, thinking about collaborations and projects that we can create together here in Adelaide, and then, I hope, take to festivals around the world. The 2026 festival program features 59 productions and brings to Adelaide many of the world's most daring artistic minds. We had three aims: cutting-edge international theatre, dance, music and opera that you can only see in Adelaide; local and Australian artists creating large-scale works that can only happen in a festival context; and re-energising the free opening event, so we start the festival every year with a celebration full of adrenaline that is free and for everyone. I believe a successful festival is one where you can discover productions that push you out of your comfort zone, works of exceptional beauty and craft, and experiences that invite you into cultures and ideas you don't encounter in your daily lives. A festival interrupts your routine with art, allowing you to see Adelaide and the world with refreshed ideas. Before we dive into the program, I do want to take a moment to express my deep thanks to all the staff at the festival who work tirelessly year-round to bring this program together. It is truly a team effort, and this could not be achieved without the imagination and the dedication of the programming team, the marketing team, the ticketing team, the production team, the development and fundraising team, and the invaluable support of our new Executive Director, Julian Hobber. Thank you to everyone at Adelaide Festival. It is a privilege to work with you all. So, to the program. To celebrate the beginning of Adelaide Festival, our massive free opening event this year is Pulp. Fronted by the legendary Javis Cocker, coming to us after the massive set at Glastonbury Pyramid Stage, Pulp returns to Australia after 15 years' absence to get us jumping up and down with their new album More, alongside iconic hits like Common People and Disco 2000. The only place you can see this legendary Brit rock band for free in Australia is the opening night of the Adelaide Festival, and we are expecting a packed Elder Park to kickstart the festival with an abundance of energy. I believe it's so important that a festival has a free event of this scale that can bring us together, that's for everyone, and celebrates the beginning of 17 days of extraordinary art. Also opening on the same night as Pulp, in the Festival Theatre we have The Cherry Orchard, adapted and directed by Simon Stone from the LG Arts Centre in South Korea. Simon is one of the world's great theatre directors and no stranger to Adelaide Festival. After directing the opera Innocence this year and Thyestes in 2018, he now takes the great Russian classic, The Cherry Orchard, and reimagines it anew in contemporary soul. This is the story of a wealthy Korean matriarch who is returning home from America as the multi-billion-dollar family business she leads is falling apart. But she refuses to acknowledge to her family and to herself that anything is wrong or that change is necessary, and her relentless denials put her family and everything she has achieved at risk. Performed in Korean by an astonishing cast, including Cannes Best Actress winner Do Yan-tan and Ha She-pa from Squid Games, there is an extraordinary artistic energy coming out of South Korea at the moment, and The Cherry Orchard is a production that shows how contemporary theatre can take stories from the past and reimagine them afresh. Let's take a look. Another extraordinary theatre work that you already know about is Mary Said What She Said, starring the great French actress Isabelle Huppert, directed by the late Robert Wilson. This is a solo performance where Isabelle Huppert plays Mary, Queen of Scots, cascading through the memories and thoughts that preoccupy the Queen. It's in a dreamlike world created by director Robert Wilson, and this is also the first time a production by Wilson will be seen in Adelaide. Wilson is a master of avant-garde theatre, as he focuses on the power of the image, is interested more in the unreal than the real. He's able to bend time in the theatre he creates, and Isabelle Huppert is giving one of the great performances of her life in Mary Said What She Said. There are very few actors in the world who I can imagine pulling off a performance of this stature. And as audiences have said in London, Paris, New York and Tokyo, she is mesmerising. Have a look. Maybe. Mary Said What She Said comes from Theatre de Ville in Paris. It is performed in French with English surtitles and is playing on the middle weekend in the Festival Theatre. The other early announcement also came from France. the magnificent Ensemble Pygmalion. Ensemble Pygmalion are a 55-piece ensemble featuring instrumentalists and singers, specialising in early music, led by Raphael Picon, and they are having a residency at Adelaide Festival next year, where they are performing 6 concerts throughout the first week. Pygmalion are world leaders in interpreting Baroque repertoire. The craft of these musicians is outstanding. When I heard them play recently, I burst into tears as I was a bit overwhelmed by the beauty. They are performing 2 nights of J.S. Bach repertoire, 2 nights of Monteverdi's Vespers in St. Peter's Cathedral, which I'm sorry to say is already sold out. But what is not sold out is 2 very special concerts of Rossi's Orfeo. Many of you will know the myth of Orfeo or Orpheus, particularly from the Gluck or the Monteverdi operas, but this is a rare Italian version of Orfeo by Rossi, and this is the speciality of Ensemble Pygmalion. They take a lost or forgotten work and bring it back to life. So don't miss the opportunity to hear Rossi's version of Orfeo for the very first time. Let's have a listen to Ensemble Pygmalion. Another extraordinary music maker at the festival is the American soprano Julia Bullock, who will star in Pearl Noir, Meditations for Josephine, a new contemporary opera by Tyshawn Sorey, directed by Peter Sellers. This opera shines a light on the life and legacy of Josephine Baker, the American artist and activist who was the first black woman on screen, left segregated America to become a global celebrity in the 1920s music halls in Paris, and then returned to America and spoke alongside Martin Luther King Jr. at the 1963 March. This opera is written by Tyshawn Sorey, and Julia Bullock, in her performance, she leads the music as it travels with Josephine, shifting from opera into spirituals and then into jazz and the raunch of the French music halls. The orchestra and band on stage are America's International Contemporary Ensemble, also featuring Tyshawn Sorey on the drums. And to quote the New York Times, Pearl Noir is one of the most important works of art yet to emerge from the era of Black Lives Matter. Peter Sellers is one of the world's great opera directors, and it's a thrill to have him back at Adelaide Festival directing this work that comes to us from the Dutch National Opera. Julia Bullock will also feature in a special performance of an oratorio, El Niño, Nativity Reconsidered, by American composer John Adams, featuring the players of the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra and singers from Adelaide Chamber Singers. El Niño was first heard in Adelaide at the 2002 festival in a production directed by Peter Sellers, and El Niño Nativity Reconsidered is a new chamber version of this monumental work. It focuses on the thoughts of Mary Magdalene before the birth of Christ and the death of innocents by Herod, and the nativity story is merged with Latin American poetry in a work of soaring beauty. This performance will be held here in the Adelaide Town Hall, performed in English and Spanish. Next, we have the ecstatic dance of Hofesh Schechter Company with Theatre of Dreams. Hofesh is one of the most in-demand and unique choreographers in the world. And the dancers he collaborates with, they seem to have this endless athleticism, able to shift from the strange to the sublime in front of your eyes. What makes a great work of dance is when you see performers pushing their bodies to their limits to communicate what we all understand but we find difficult to put into words. And this is exactly what Hofesh does. Theatre of Dreams, it's a journey into the subconscious where David Lynch-like curtains rapidly open and close, pulling you deeper and deeper into a dream. Behind one curtain, you might find yourself discombobulated, and then the next in a realm of beauty and joy. When I saw this, I found it an addictive experience. I caught myself bobbing along to the soundtrack at the dance and just wanting it to go on and on and on. Take a look. Next, from Germany, we see the return of the Schaubühne and the theatre director Thomas Ostermeier with History of Violence by Edouard Louis. The Schaubühne and Thomas Ostermeier are global leaders for contemporary theatre and were first featured at the Adelaide Festival in 2006. Based on Edouard Louis' autobiographical novel, it's the story of Edward, and when he returns home at 4 a.m. in Paris, he meets Reda, a charming and seductive stranger on the street. They flirt, they have a great night of sex, and in the morning, when Edward confronts him about where his wallet is, it turns into a violent assault. But what is shocking is the responses the police and Edward's family have to the act, which brings to the surface racism and homophobia, and Edward goes through the complex process of questioning, should he involve the justice system when he empathises with the man that assaulted him? It's complex, it's mesmerising, it's hard-hitting. You will be thinking about this and debating this show for years to come. This show is burnt into my memory due to the power and intensity of the actors and the complexity of its ethics. Next, no festival is complete without a theatre epic. Therefore, on the final weekend, we have Gats, an 8-hour version of The Great Gatsby by New York legends Elevator Repair Service. In the office of a mysterious small business, an employee finds a copy of The Great Gatsby on the mess of his desk, and he starts to read it out loud, word for word. Before long, the entire story is unfolding around him as every employee in the rundown office finds themselves embodying the characters and lovers at Gatsby's decadent parties. It's remarkable how reading every word of Fitzgerald's novel aloud absolutely transports you. Many people say they leave the theatre feeling like they can see daisies and Nicks and Gatsbys walking in the streets around them. And this particular production has resonance in the world today, as this is the story of the uber wealthy who can buy their way into power, but it's told by those in America who will never have access to that wealth or power. Yes, there are breaks. It's not 8 hours through. There's even a 90-minute dinner break. It's performed in 4 parts, each between 75 and 100 minutes long, with 2 20-minute breaks and a dinner break in the middle. So you go in at 2 p.m. and you come out just after 10 o'clock. It's a true theatrical event that you won't experience except in a festival. Let's have a look.
In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since.
From a literary marathon to wordless theatre, next we have Works and Days from Belgian company FC Bergman. FC Bergman brought Sheep Song to the festival in 2023, and they are some of the most inventive visual theatre makers in the world who communicate stories purely through imagery. This is a work that moves through 3 generations, the revolutions: the agricultural revolution, the industrial revolution, and the now occurring AI revolution. It starts on an empty stage where the cast literally plough up the stage to grow crops. Then a steam engine descends as they worship oil, and then AI dogs start to stalk the perimeter. When I saw this show, there was a young guy behind me who every 5 minutes would go, "What the fuck?" As every 5 minutes, there was an astonishing theatrical surprise on stage. One of the most important qualities of theatre is to surprise you, and I guarantee you will see some of the most unexpected moments and images of the festival in this very special work from Belgium. Have a look. Next from Sydney, we have Regroup Performance Collective with POV. POV is a unique show as the adult actors that perform in it each night aren't allowed to rehearse. It's the story of Bub, an 11-year-old who has become obsessed with documentary filmmaking and becomes addicted to filming her parents. What she doesn't realise is that she is capturing her parents going through a mental health episode. Therefore, each night, Bub asks two actors to step up onto the stage to recreate the scenes that she's caught on camera, and the actors have no idea what will be asked of them. It's playful and poignant, and every night is different, with two South Australian actors stepping up to Bub's challenge. Also, we have from Sydney a production from Griffin Theatre Company by Palawa writer Dylan Vandenberg, Whitefella, Yellow Tree. This is a narrative I personally haven't seen or heard on stage before. Two First Nations boys during the frontier wars of the 19th century are messenger boys from their communities, asked to meet under the lemon tree every few months to pass on news of what is happening in their communities. But as they meet, they start to fall in love, and the advance of the English not only threaten their communities, but also their relationship. It's a beautiful and subtle work by the next wave of First Nations artists, coming to us from a season in Sydney where it was declared a new Australian classic. Next, from South Australia, we have the world premiere of a massive new work from Windmill Production Company, Mama Does Derby, directed by Claire Watson, written by Virginia Gay, and featuring 20 performers from the Adelaide Roller Derby League. If you are looking for a show to bring the whole family to, then this is the one. Mama Does Derby is the story of a mother and a daughter, where the mother joins a local roller derby team and sends the duo into a roller coaster ride of discoveries. With an entire ensemble performing on roller skates, it is filled with irreverence and heart, performed at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre Theatre, and the perfect example of South Australian artists making large-scale work brimming with invention. Have a look. Another extraordinary South Australian company, Slingsby, brings its 3-year journey to a zenith with the final chapter of a concise compendium of wonder. This is 3 shows, all for young audiences, performed in a custom-built wooden theatre in the Botanic Gardens. Slingsby have been building up to this trilogy over the last 3 years, creating new works based on the fairy tales such as Oscar Wilde's The Selfish Giant, Hansel and Gretel, and The Little Match Girl. All three works are performed by the same ensemble cast in a bespoke theatre that transforms for every show. It is full of magic and a celebration of the work that Slingsby has been achieving over the last 20 years. It is an extraordinary legacy for Slingsby. Also returning to Adelaide Festival is one of Australia's most dynamic choreographers, Stephanie Lake, with The Chronicles, a major new work with 12 of Australia's leading independent dancers performing alongside young Adelaide voices. Stephanie Lake was previously at the Adelaide Festival with Manifesto. If you recall, the incredible work with the 9 dancers and the 9 drummers. And The Chronicles is her most impressive work yet. It's a womb to tomb journey, according to Stephanie, starting with vulnerability, moving into the chaos of middle life and the quietening of final years. And every chapter in this dance work is startling in its visual imagery and choreography. It's really a piece for all the senses and created by one of Australia's most in-demand choreographers. Here's a short video. Another contemporary dance work comes from China by choreographer Gua Rui, titled Reshaping Identity. I saw this work in Shanghai and it's mesmerizing. 5 young dancers from different parts of regional China step forward to share the folk dance they learnt when they were young and the wrestle that they have on how to reshape tradition into something new and their own. In front of your eyes, they transform their dance with a pulsing club track into something completely contemporary, and you just can't take your eyes off these 5 dancers. It's a work that gives you a great insight into the artistic conversations occurring in China today and is in the Space Theatre on the opening weekend of the festival. Also, Australian Dance Theatre are back, and they've commissioned a new work by Australian choreographer Jenny Large in Far Away. Jenny Large is known for her choreography that is a little bit strange, a little bit scary, a little bit erotic, a little bit glam. She is creating a new commission with the dancers of Australian Dance Theatre about the fairy tales and the monsters that we create in our imaginations that guide us and haunt us. It promises to be erotic and wonderfully weird world to enter into, and is a world premiere here in Adelaide. The macabre continues with 2 concerts at Her Majesty's Theatre with the Tiger Lilies, with Serenade from the Sewer. These legendary post-punk cabaret stars are back. The first time they were in Adelaide Festival was in 2000 with Shock-Headed Peter, and they always deliver on filling you up with adrenaline with their anarchy. Performing all new songs from their latest album, expect stories of Edgar Allan Poe and Lovecraft told through wild vaudevillian numbers and songs and stories of those whose society have abandoned. It will absolutely be subversive, wild, and a whole lot of fun. Also at Her Majesty's, you can experience an intimate performance with Tyshawn Sorey of Alone. Tyshawn is the composer of the opera Pearl Noir and is a titan in the jazz scene as a drummer and pianist. After recently performing a solo piano show at the Venice Biennale, he now brings this work to a one-night intimate concert at Her Majesty's Theatre. It's a very unique experience to share a special night with Tyshawn where it is just him, a piano, and you, and anything could happen. 2 other virtuosic musicians Joining us in 2026 are violinist Anthony Marwood and pianist Olli Mustonen. Olli is one of the world's most revered pianists and a musician with a lifelong connection to the music of Beethoven. We are very fortunate that in an Australian exclusive, Olli will perform 13 of Beethoven's sonatas over one weekend at the beautiful Eucharia in Mount Barker. This is a feast and marathon of Beethoven on the first Saturday and Sunday of the festival, and a chance to be in an intimate space with a master. At Elder Hall, violinist Anthony Marwood will be in residence, where he will lead 3 daytime concerts. On the Monday and Tuesday are concerts with the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra, featuring Marwood's signature work, The Lark Ascending, as well as Shostakovich's second string quartet and Beethoven's hugely popular septet. These are concerts where you will be able to experience a musical dialogue between Marwood and the players of the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra. The third daytime concert is a world first, as when we invited Olli and Anthony to the festival separately, we didn't realise that they have never actually played together before. So we extended the invitation and are thrilled that Anthony and Olli will play together for the first time on March the 4th in a concert that starts by showcasing their brilliance as soloists and then brings them together to perform Shostakovich's sonata for violin and piano. This will be a very, very special event. Also in Elder Hall, we welcome another unique collaboration, the Brodsky Quartet with William Barton. Tracing through time and across cultures, this concert brings together master Yiddish artist William Barton and the legendary Brodsky Quartet from the UK. They are playing a varied program, including works by Australians Andrew Ford and Sculthorpe, to Janacek, Purcell, Stravinsky, and original works by Barton. The Brodsky Quartet have been playing together for more than 50 years, always pushing the boundaries of what a string quartet can become, and in this collaboration with the didgeridoo virtuoso, there'll be some extraordinary music making. Also at Eucharia, on the second and third weekends of the festival, we have Sergei Krylov with Konstantin Shamray, and the Alma Moody Quartet, also in collaboration with Konstantin Shamray and Robert Nan. Italian violinist Kirov performs the violin, pushes the violin to the extreme in a concert of French repertoire, performed with Adelaide's superstar pianist Konstantin Shamray. And the Queensland-based Alma Moody Quartet also teams up with Konstantin and double bassist Robert Nan in a program that explores the composers who inspired Alma Moody, the early 20th century Australian violinist who gave the quartet their name. It is a program that includes Stravinsky, Bartók, Brahms, and new works by Olli, but performed by one of Australia's newest and most daring young quartets. For those seeking daring music in the more electronica music space, we have Trip, a new contemporary music program for Adelaide Festival, using the club and band spaces of Adelaide, bringing together artists who are pushing the boundaries of electronica music. There are 3 gigs across 3 locations. The first is at Highney Street Music Hall on the opening weekend, headlining with the legendary experimental Japanese rock artists Boris and Mesbau. Expect some bone-shaking sound and intensity. This is followed by a late-night event at Divide Nightclub with bass, dance, club music by DJ Haram at the helm and Australian dubstep heroes Scorpion King and Mr. John. The next day, starting at 3 p.m. at Cloisters at Adelaide University, James Kay leads a lineup of celestial electronica and dreamy experimental pop for anyone who wants to have a dance as the afternoon progresses and the sun goes down. The music continues on the middle weekend at Womadelaide with 3 days of music making in the Botanic Gardens. This is a massive program featuring more than 700 artists from 30 countries. The lineup embraces everything from Balkan brass to Latin American cumbia to classical Indian ensembles and Japanese hip hop. The full program of music for 4 days in the Botanic Gardens will be announced on October the 30th. The Australian Biennial of Australian Art is back with Yield Strength, a new exhibition curated by Ellie Buttrose after her hugely successful curation of the Australian Pavilion at the Venice Biennale with Archie Moore. Spanning 3 spaces, the Art Gallery of South Australia, Sam Stagg Museum of Art, and the Adelaide Botanical Gardens, this exhibition reveals how materials, selfhood and society are tested and transformed when put under pressure. It features 24 artists pushing the boundaries of their medium, and the Adelaide Biennial of Australian Art is the preeminent survey of contemporary Australian art in the country and is a free exhibition running from the festival to the beginning of June. At Ace Gallery, we have Coomerang. This is an intergenerational exhibition that explores through a series of paintings and wireworks the history and controversy of the building of the bridge to Coomerang, also known as High Marsh Island, and the stories of the women and the elders who fought against the construction of High Marsh Bridge and the survival of their culture. This is a major project led by Country Arts SA and will span multiple years, continuing with a film project in 2026 and an epic theatre production in 2027. It's a remarkable and a powerful Australian story. At Isla, we have a new exhibition by photographer Alex Frayne called Manifest Destiny, a photographic exhibition that comes from Alex's journeys through the West, the Deep South, and the Bible Belt of America. The exhibition brings to life the streets and the people and the stories of America and their joy and sorrow of a nation in crisis. Complete with an ambient soundtrack by Donnie Sloan from Empire of the Sun, this is a unique exhibition that merges the analogue with new technologies. Of course, Adelaide Festival isn't complete without Adelaide Writers' Week. Held over 6 days in the Pioneers Women's Garden, where more than 150,000 people will gather to hear writers discussing literature and their latest novels. Led and curated by the effortlessly erudite, it's hard to say, effortlessly erudite Louise Adler, alongside more than 90 Australian writers, we'll be joined by Percival Everett, Rachel Cockrell, Marina Enrique, and Tasman Walton. We will also have The Great Debate with Annabelle Crabb and David Marr, Michael Lewis talking about who is government, Helen Garner, Chloe Hooper, and Sarah Krasenstein talking about the mushroom tapes, yes, those mushrooms. Mark Mazawa on what do we mean when we talk about anti-Semitism. Tina Brown is talking on media and journalism. Christian Amanpour on truth. M. Gesson on language. Former New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern on power. Trent Dalton on writing. It's a long list. And there's even a new Adelaide Writers' Week book club. The conversations also continue with a program of talks called Adelaide Festival Talks. I believe the discussion of ideas is vital at a festival, and we have some of the most cutting-edge artistic minds in the world in Adelaide next March. So Tom Wright is going to lead 6 talks across the festival at the Art Space in Adelaide Festival Centre with artists like Isabelle Huppert, Peter Sellers, Thomas Ostermeyer, Stephanie Lake, and more, who will be here in Adelaide and will unpack the ideas fueling them in the world today. Also at the Adelaide Festival Centre, we have CODA, the 2026 Festival Bar, in a wonderful new partnership with Adelaide Festival Centre, located on the east side of the Festival Theatre. CODA is a bespoke bar designed by Matt Adey, and we invite you all to come and have libations before a performance and then gather after to celebrate and debate what you've just experienced. So join us at CODA after every show to meet the artists and fellow festival goers and to soak up the spirit and energy of Adelaide Festival. We also have a new ticketing initiative in 2026. If you are under 40, you can gain tickets to all the festival shows we've just talked about for $40. I'm sorry if you're 41. It is vital that the festival is accessible to as many people as possible and to welcome in a younger generation, so we are focusing this ticketing initiative for those under 40. We do have a capped allocation of tickets at this price, so they are available on a first in, best dressed basis. So if you are under 40, book in straight away, get in there to see as much of the festival as possible. In youth and education, we continue our commitment of inviting school audiences to Adelaide Festival, and in 2026, 16 of the theatre, dance and music productions are part of our youth and education program, where high school students can access $20 tickets to attend the productions. Therefore, if there are any teachers in the audience tonight or friends of teachers, let them know about the program and to bring their students to experience these incredible works. Along with our $40 tickets for those under 40, the open house program also returns in 2026. For a selection of shows, we have ticks for Next to Nix, which are $5 tickets to not-for-profit organisations, charities and audience members who have a pension card or a healthcare card. And if you are a low-income earner with a healthcare card, you can also attend Pay What You Can performances throughout the festival for tickets that will become available 1 hour before a performance. These are programs at the festival that I didn't know about when I relocated to Adelaide, and I'm in awe about the accessibility that the Adelaide Festival has been offering for years. So please do spread the word to those who require these opportunities so everyone can experience the thrill of Adelaide Festival. And that is the program for Adelaide Festival 2026. It's a massive program, brings together cutting-edge performances from around the world to Adelaide, premieres major new works with Australian artists, and starts with a bang with Pulp filling us with adrenaline. This now concludes the formalities for tonight. Out in the foyer, we have some drinks and some copies of the brochure, hot off the press. The website is up and you can buy tickets now to the festival. So get on, all the shows are there. Please grab your tickets nice and early. And I look forward to seeing you all throughout Adelaide Festival 2026.